welcome to CAHM 50A, the Introduction to Culinary Arts Basics at Cabrillo College. My name's Jeremy McVeigh, and I'm going to be your instructor for CAHM 50A, and then if you continue on and take the whole series, the 50A, B, and C, then we'll be together for the duration. I wanted to introduce myself to all of you, and I also thought it'd be a good idea just to introduce you to one of our spaces that we use on campus in our kitchen classes for the labs. And so I am right now at Cessnon House on campus in our kitchen, and I want to try and give a little bit of context to why we read about and why we cover some of the content that we do in the textbook and in the modules that we'll be going through as we do these coming weeks. So we'll be using On Cooking, a textbook, a professional cooking textbook that covers kind of all of the foundational parts of learning how to cook and learning how to work in a professional kitchen. And the first couple of chapters that we'll be covering and that you'll be reading about, one is about professionalism and kind of how the industry developed into what it is now, and the other is about menus and how menus communicate to our customers what it is that we're making in the kitchens, and how those menus are connected to what's happening in a professional kitchen, so that we're able to execute them and care for our customers and have the food prepared for them in what they consider a reasonable amount of time. And maybe if you take a moment to think about how long do you expect food to take when you go out to eat, that'll kind of highlight in your mind like what's happening back here in a kitchen. When most people go out to eat and their server comes and they've decided what they want from a menu and they place an order, they don't have a patience for a long period of time about when that product's going to be made. And the way that kitchens are able to do that, professional kitchens, is that they're going to have a lot of stuff prepared already, and that way they can finish those orders that are coming in a reasonable amount of time. So I'm excited about this semester. I know this is very different, probably for many of you, as far as watching a video of me right now instead of us being together in a classroom, and it's obviously different for myself as well. But I'm excited about our upcoming semester and utilizing this new format to learn more about all of you and what it is that interests you in the field and in the culinary realm, and for us to utilize that format to cover the content that we'll cover in these classes. And so just real quickly to kind of put a little bit of those early chapters in context, again, I'm going to kind of pan the camera around a little bit and just so you can visualize a little bit about how does that play out when we start to talk about food production in professional kitchens. So I'm standing on the line at Cessnon House, and behind me are a couple of heavy equipment pieces. There's a proof box that's on this side of me here, and then directly behind me is a convection oven. So this is kind of more powerful oven than you probably have at home, so it can cook things faster. Convection means that it has a fan in it that's rotating air, and so that helps it cook faster. Some of you might have convection ovens at home. And then if I pan the camera a little bit more, there's a grill here, gas grill, and then as I continue to go, there's some ranges that have ovens below them that are conventional ovens, which means it just has heat coming from the bottom. And the range is a bunch of gas burners that we can be cooking, sauteing things and putting pots and pans and so forth on there. You can see that there's some pans up above it. And then as we go further down the line, there's a fry. So there's a fryolator where we do fried stuff, and above it, that unit, let's see if I can get my hand pointed in the right place, is called a salamander, which is essentially like a broiler. So it has heat, it's gas again, all of this stuff is gas driven. It has heat that comes from above that's very hot, so you can put things inside it and brown them or melt them. And then at the very end of the line is there's a tilt kettle there, which is it's a steam jacketed tilt kettle, so steam comes up around the outside of it, and there's a gap in between the steel that makes up the outside and the inside, and you're able to cook things inside it like you would with a pot. However, it can cook faster, you can control the heat better, and you can help make sure you don't scorch and things like that in a steam jacketed kettle, and that has a lot more control than if we tried to do the same thing on the range. So if we did it right on top of the burners. So that's kind of a real quick tour, if you will, of the kitchen line at Cessnon House. On campus here we have 3 different kitchen areas. There's the Cessnon House kitchen that I'm in right now, and then on upper campus there are 2 kitchens that are in the 900 building where the cafeteria is, and we're basically behind the cafeteria operators for those labs. So if you're taking a lab, you may be in one of those kitchens in the future, and you'll become a lot more familiar with the equipment and the operation and kind of the dance that happens in these kitchens. So I'm excited again to get started on the content that we're going to be going through, and I'll oftentimes reference back to the kitchen, and so that we're thinking about the reality of that. So welcome, and look forward to working with all of you as we cover the content.